World witnessed a moment that would live forever in the history of the beautiful game. It was not just another El Clásico. It was not just another rivalry battle between two Spanish giants. It was the night when Ronaldinho walked into the Santiago Bernabeu and humbled the mighty Galacticos of Real Madrid, and left the pitch with a standing ovation from their own fans. The Galacticos era was supposed to be untouchable. With global superstars like Zinedine Zidane, David Beckham, Ronaldo Nazario, and Roberto Carlos, Real Madrid were not just a football team, they were a brand, a phenomenon, a symbol of dominance. Every home game at the Bernabeu felt like a royal performance. Opponents didn't just come to compete, they came to survive. But on that night, survival was not in the script. Magic was. From the first whistle, FC Barcelona played with confidence and rhythm. And at the heart of it all was Ronaldinho, smiling, relaxed, dancing with the ball as if the pressure of 80,000 hostile fans meant nothing. He wasn't just playing football, he was performing art. Barcelona struck first through Samuel Eto'o, stunning the Madrid faithful into temporary silence. But even then, the story was not yet complete. The real masterpiece was still being painted. Then came the moment. Ronaldinho received the ball in midfield. One touch. Acceleration. He glided past Sergio Ramos as if he wasn't even there. The crowd gasped. He drove forward, defenders scrambling. Another shift of the hips, another burst of speed, past Ivan Helguera. The Bernabeu, once roaring, now frozen. He entered the box, calm, composed, clinical. Goal. The net rippled. Barcelona celebrated. Madrid stood shocked. But Ronaldinho wasn't finished. Minutes later, he did it again. This time it was even more devastating. Picking up the ball deep, he launched into another breathtaking solo run. His control was magnetic, the ball glued to his feet. White shirts chased shadows. He cut inside, powered through, and smashed it past Iker Casillas. 2-0. The camera panned to the Madrid crowd. Disbelief turned into something unexpected, admiration. By the time the final whistle blew and Barcelona had secured a historic 3-0 victory, something extraordinary happened. The Santiago Bernabeu, one of the most intimidating stadiums in the world, rose to its feet. They applauded him. They applauded a Barcelona player. They applauded Ronaldinho. In football, rivalries are sacred. Pride is everything. For Madrid fans to stand and clap for a Barcelona star meant one thing: they had witnessed greatness beyond rivalry. It was no longer about colors or badges. It was about pure football genius. Even the Galacticos themselves could not hide their respect. Zidane understood artistry when he saw it. Ronaldo Nazario, a fellow Brazilian legend, knew brilliance when it danced in front of him. That night, Ronaldinho wasn't just better, he was unstoppable. This was more than a victory. It was symbolic. Real Madrid represented power, wealth, and global dominance. Barcelona, under Frank Rijkaard, were building something different: unity, flair, identity. And Ronaldinho was the heartbeat of that revolution. His performance that night shifted the balance of Spanish football. It inspired a young boy watching from the sidelines, a teenager named Lionel Messi, who would later carry the torch of Barcelona greatness. But before Messi's era, before the tiki-taka dominance, there was Ronaldinho. He played with joy, with freedom, with a smile that made defenders nervous. The standing ovation was not just applause for 2 goals. It was applause for courage, the courage to attack in the lion's den. It was applause for beauty, the kind that reminds us why we fall in love with football. And it was applause for humility. Because Ronaldinho never celebrated with arrogance. He smiled. He thanked the crowd. He respected the moment. That night proved something powerful. Greatness forces respect. The Galacticos were humbled not by tactics alone, not by luck, but by genius. Real Madrid had built a team of superstars, but Barcelona had something different: a magician. Years later, players would try to replicate moments like that. Solo runs, big game performances, El Clásico heroics, but very few could make an entire rival stadium rise in admiration. Ronaldinho didn't just win a match. He won hearts. For Barcelona fans, it was a night of pride. For Madrid fans, it was a lesson in appreciating greatness. And for the football world, it was a reminder that sometimes, the game transcends rivalry. When historians talk about iconic El Clasico moments, this match always appears near the top. Not because of controversy, not because of drama, but because of beauty. The Bernabeu standing to applaud a Barcelona player is one of the rarest sights in football history. And it happened because Ronaldinho dared to express himself fully on the biggest stage. Football is often described as a game of passion and rivalry. But on that November night in 2005, it became something more, a universal language of respect. As Ronaldinho walked off the pitch, sweat on his forehead, smile on his face, he carried with him something more valuable than 3 points. He carried the applause of his rivals. And that is the ultimate victory. Because trophies gather dust, records get broken, teams evolve, but moments like that, they live forever. The day Ronaldinho humbled the Galacticos was not about humiliation. It was about artistry defeating ego. It was about joy conquering pressure. It was about a Brazilian genius reminding the world that football, at its highest level, is meant to be beautiful. And in the heart of Madrid, inside the fortress of their greatest rivals, Ronaldinho turned enemies into admirers, if only for a few magical minutes. That is legacy. That is greatness. That is football.